Manchester United have until the end of the month to conclude any incoming or outgoing bits of business. Fulham's interest in Manchester United's Scott McTominay will now cool as they have now turned their attention to signing Burnley midfielder Sander Berge instead, as per journalist Fabrizio Romano on X. The Whites have been targeting the Red Devils man throughout this transfer window but haven't been able to agree a fee. McTominay, who is 27 years old, continues to face an uncertain future at Old Trafford. It remains to be seen at this stage whether he will stay put or leave with the deadline next Friday. Reporter Romano has posted, Fulham have agreed deal to sign Sander Berge from Burnley, here we go. McTominay deal off as Berge joins on £20 million plus £5 million fee, medical booked for the midfielder. Formal steps to follow tomorrow, as at Laurie Whitwell reports. The Scotland international sees his contract at United expire in June 2025 but they hold an option to extend his stay by a further 12 months. However, cutting ties with him would free up space and funds in their ranks to pave the way for new arrivals. Fulham will see Berge as an ideal alternative and the former Sheffield United man would be a shrewd addition for Marco Silva's side. He hasn't been in any of Burnley's squads in the Championship so far this season under their new boss Scott Parker. Parker said he was carrying a slight knock. As per the Burnley Express, Sander picked up a knock about a week, 10 days ago. It's not too big, it's just a slight knock. Hopefully he's on the right track and hopefully he'll be with us in the coming days back training. He's got a little slight quad issue. I sense the way you're asking that question you don't believe that he's injured. He's definitely got an injury. He picked up an injury in Spain. He had a bit of discomfort in his quad. It's not a big injury, it's quite a small injury to be honest with you. But it was a bit persistent. He got a scan and we think we know where we are with it now. We've diagnosed it and he's on the right track now. The ex-Fulham and Bournemouth man added, I'm not going to speculate on Sander or any one of the players. We know how football works in the sense there's a transfer window at this time, so every player in any football club it is what it is. At this present moment in time, and it's the same with Wout Weghorst, Sander has been absolutely nothing but the ultra-professional. He trained with us for the first 2 weeks and he picked up a knock. We will see what happens. Antony has had his domestic abuse probe dropped by Brazilian police following a lack of evidence. The Manchester United winger was accused by his ex-girlfriend Gabrielle Cavallin of domestic violence, threatened bodily injury, last year. Former Ajax winger Antony immediately denied the accusations, which saw Cavallin file police reports in her native Brazil and in England. 2 more women later come forward to make similar allegations, although one subsequently dropped her case. It led Antony to give a tearful interview on live TV where he stressed that there was no truth in the accusations. An emotional Antony said, "It's something that doesn't cross my mind. I know the truth and it will show up. I know there are a lot of people butchering me, but the truth comes out." Antony, who spoke to Greater Manchester Police to discuss the allegations, took a period of absence during the start of last season. His special leave saw him miss 3 Premier League matches of the 2023-24 campaign. But he has now been cleared after police found insufficient evidence regarding any wrongdoing. Following the year-long investigation, the Public Security Secretariat told Brazilian media, the case was processed under confidentiality. More information should be requested from the courts. Meanwhile, a press release from Antony's legal team read, the defense of the player Antony Mateus dos Santos, in view of the news published by the press this Tuesday, publicly confirms that the police investigation opened at the 5th Women's Defense Precinct of São Paulo, of the civil police, was closed without indictment. The defense has always believed that the investigations, which are being conducted under secrecy, would prove Antony's innocence. However, it is understood that the final investigation report will now be analyzed by the Public Prosecutor's Office in Brazil as well as the Brazilian Justice Department. Cavallin's lawyer Daniel Bialski has stated they are hoping that the Public Prosecutor's Office will file a criminal complaint. Bialski said, "It should be noted that there is overwhelming evidence that leaves no doubt that Gabriela was the victim, here in Brazil and in England, of physical and psychological aggression. Therefore, we await the statement from the Public Prosecutor's Office, trusting and hoping that a formal criminal complaint will be filed against former player Antony, who should be prosecuted and, ultimately, convicted for his multiple acts of violence against women.